This is Kevin Harlan back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where it's 60 degrees, but the wind brings that down to about 45. And there's Dan Reeves, who has lost his last 3 to the Eagles, and Ray Rhodes, who is trying to stop a 3-game losing streak overall. Brian DeLuiso will be kicking off for the Giants. He's got the big leg, but in this wind and rain today, Jerry, that will be tested as you see Witherspoon and Mark Say deep back for Philadelphia.
Where the rain will bother kickers today, Kevin, is their plant foot. The foot that's not hitting the ball. You got to watch. If he's a right-footed kicker, you got to watch and be sure the left foot doesn't slide. And that's the most important foot today, is your plant foot.
The Giants hope to keep their tenuous playoff hopes alive, but coming off their biggest victory of the season and one of the biggest victories in the Dan Reeves era, as they beat the Dallas Cowboys last week 20-6, forcing 5 Dallas turnovers. And the last meeting here, they trailed 10-6. The Eagles did going into the fourth quarter, but they scored 13 unanswered points and beat the Giants 19-10.
And the biggest noise that day was the sacks by the Eagles, which they haven't been able to do.
The Eagles and Giants, the NFC East on display. Here we go in rainy Philadelphia. And they'll keep it in the end zone as Derek Witherspoon is held back, unless the Eagles will get it first down and 10 yards to go at their own 20-yard line. Well, Ty Detmer is the 9th-rated NFL quarterback and 3rd in the NFC with his 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions since taking the place early in the season of the injured Rodney Peete. And on the line, Barrett Brooks, Joe Panos, Raleigh McKenzie, Lester Holmes, and the right tackle Richard Cooper. In the backfield, Ricky Waters looking for his first 100-yard day in a month. Kevin Turner back there with him. Fryer and Chris T. Jones are the receivers, and the tight end is rookie Jason Dunn. And from the 20-yard line, showing blitz the Giants, Philadelphia, first down and 10. And they get it out in the flat where it's caught by Ricky Waters. Waters is hustled out of bounds after a gain of 7 by Jesse Campbell. That'll be second and short as the Eagles go up against the 43 defense of the New York Giants, rated number 13 in the NFL. Bradsky coming off a great game with Hamilton, Harris, and Michael Strahan. In the linebacking core, Marcus Buckley gets another start with Widmer and Jesse Armstead, who had a great game last week. And in the backfield, Jason Sehorn and Sparks the corners with Tito Wooten and Jesse Campbell, the hard-hitting Giant safeties. Gain of 6 on first down, second down and 4 for Detmer, and wide open. He's got receiver Irving Fryer, who busts free at the 40, and he's out to the 45 on a gain of 18, brought down by linebacker Corey Widmer.
Jason Sehorn was in a full press man-to-man, but because of the traction, the slippery turf, he slips and falls, and then the safety also comes in and misses the tackle. There you can see Irving already got away, and then a missed tackle by Tito Wooten. So 2 people missed Irving Fryer on the very first pass.
Opening drive of the game, Philadelphia at the 45 with the first and 10. Here's Ricky Waters, and that's a typical Ricky Waters run as a flag is thrown at the 50-yard line. He gains 11 yards, and along the way, Jerry, he usually busts about 2 or 3 tackles.
Well, he's that second effort guy, but you got to remember his history. He fumbles a lot, and with the ball as what it's going to be, and with his second effort, he could have trouble holding on that ball today.
On a defense, penalized into the run, 5 yards, first down.
Dan Reeves, now in his 4th year as the coach of the Giants.
You can see the face mask. Looked like Keith Hamilton got his hand right in on the cage.
Eagles began back at their 20 on a touchback, now inside the Giant 40-yard line with a first and 10. Good time for Detmer. Nice coverage by the Giants, and the pass is thrown short underneath for running back Ricky Waters, who picks up 4. Brought down by the leading tackler on the Giant defense, Jesse Armstead.
And a little bit of different offensive formation than what they've shown in their scouting report. So that had the Giants a little confused. When they shifted out, the Giants had to take an outside linebacker, believe it or not, and play him as a corner because of the formation change that they had on that play.
Second down and 6 as Waters becomes a receiver at the top of your screen. Charlie Garner gets the call. He didn't play last week, and he moves down inside the 32 on a gain of 2. And the first hit put on him again by Jesse Armstead.
Welcome to the NFC East. Watch the line get moved. Watch the offensive line. Lester Holmes, Richard Cooper, and they're moving people right out. That's Robert Harris, Michael Strahan. They're pushing the whole pile.
Garner had a sprained left ankle, did not play last week.
And the coach told us Garner has to get 10 carries today. He has to touch the ball 10 times. So look for Garner to get more playing time than he has in a couple of months.
Well, he's got one so far. Here's a 3rd and 3 on the opening series of the game by Philadelphia with no score as Detmer throws on the near side and the pass is caught for a first down. It's Irvin Fryer. That's a gain of 5.
And that was a very dangerous ball. That was a long throw to the outside cut. And Jason Sehorn, he had a shot at maybe making a play on that thing.
Fryer had 7 catches last week against Arizona for 131 yards. He is having a marvelous season for Philadelphia.
Here he is, 12 years, 13 years in the league and playing at the top of his game. That doesn't happen to many football players.
This Eagle offense on opening drives very effective, as you just saw. The first down handoff goes inside the 25-yard line and a gain of 2 to Ricky Waters, who had 64 yards last week in Arizona. But Jerry, looking at his statistics, he has not had a 100-yard gain for a month.
Well, I think they're going to try it this week. Here's the lead. They're going to run a lead and try to come over and watch the full, just a shuffle over. And he's flat running over a big down lineman. Robert Harris is trying to get off the block of Lester Holmes, but while he's doing that, Ricky Waters is running right into him. That's full speed running, no fair dodging.
8th play of the Eagle drive, 2nd down and 8 yards to go for Ty Detmer. And he throws behind, but it's caught by Chris T. Jones. He's inside the Giant 15 to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 13 on the play and a first down.
Well, that's Chris T. Jones, who did not have a good game last week. He's up at the top, but every receiver is going to run a crossing route. They're all crisscrossing. Watch the guy behind him crossing the other way. And what was interesting is Irving Fryer told him, because of your bad game last week, you have to catch the first ball thrown to you to put that last week's game to sleep. Whatever you do, you catch that first pass.
Ty Detmer has started the game 5 of 5, but there's a fumble on the play at the 11-yard line, and the Giants, who forced 5 Dallas turnovers last week, stopped the Eagles cold in their tracks, and dejection on the face of Eagle coach Ray Rhodes. It was recovered by Jesse Armstead, who recovered a fumble last week against the Cowboys.
And that was a fumble exchange. That's from the center in the quarterback. And you got to say the Eagles had great movement with the line. There it is. It popped right straight up in the air.
So the first big play of the game turned in by the Giant defense. We have no score.
Nice pass. And by Pizza Hut.
On 1st and 10, Rodney Hampton is stacked up after a Philadelphia fumble. Looked like the entire defense of the Eagles had a hand on the tackle of Rodney Hampton. Let's go back to the fumble.
This is Raleigh McKenzie, the center. A good snap. We talked about the wet ball, and there's Ty. Sort of had his hands turned over too soon, and the wet ball, I think, caused that ball to go right up to his chest.
Gain of a yard on the play on 1st down. 2nd down and 9. That's Charles Way in motion. And Brown going right to work, and he looks for Way, and the pass is picked off by Ray Farmer, a rookie. And Farmer is down at the 34-yard line.
What a nice play by Ray Farmer. We talked to him yesterday, and he'll be the linebacker taking the motion man right here. Here's the guy that played free safety at Duke a year ago, and a 220-pound safety moved to a linebacker position, making a big interception. And that's an ex-Duke quarterback throwing an interception to an ex-Duke safety.
So Farmer gets his very first career interception. And the Eagles are back in business at the Giant 34. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Detmer again with good time, and this time he is a little bit wide, going for wide receiver Irving Fryer. There's a look at Farmer, a 4th-round pick out of Duke. That's the first incompletion, by the way, for Ty Detmer, who started the game 5 of 5 for the Eagles.
And that ball was close to being picked off by the Giants. I think with the rain, with the slippery ball, you saw the fumble exchange. We'll also see some bad throws from both quarterbacks.
Second down and 10. 3 wide receivers at the disposal of Detmer. And the draw play handoff, and it goes to Ricky Waters, who dances his way inside the 30. Picks up 5, taken down to the 29 by the best cornerback on this team, Philippi Sparks of the Giants.
Well, Ricky Waters likes to follow a fullback, but I think he hits a lot of daylight and a lot of air out of a one-back set. So here he's by himself. Watch him break it off to the left as you're looking at it, and a good block by Jason Dunn, the tight end, went right down inside and picked off Corey Whitmer, the inside linebacker.
He doesn't get very deep in that backfield either, does he?
You got to feed him the ball today. He's got to be the guy if you want to win for Philadelphia.
3rd down and 5, and an audible now coming from quarterback Ty Detmer. Waters again. And he takes it to the 26-yard line, where he is brought down by Tito Wooten. That'll set up 3rd down and a couple.
Well, guess who he was following that time? Your favorite guard, Joe Panos. Joe Panos will line up and he'll pull when they're a one-back set. There's no fullback. Then a guard has to come and lead. Watch the guard as you're looking at. You're playing safety now. It's the right guard as you're looking. And he did a scoop block and let the center cut. That really wasn't a pull. He scooped and let Raleigh McKenzie go. Scoop means you block the first guy to your right side.
Harry Anderson has made 11 consecutive field goals. The wind is kind of going from the far side to the near side. Holding will be Hutton, a 44-yard attempt. And Anderson bangs it through. That's 12 in a row. And he ties a Philadelphia record. The Eagles cash in on a Dave Brown interception. They lead 3-0. Well, the Giant defense does hold Philadelphia to just a field goal attempt as Gary Anderson just knocked through a 44-yarder, and he has now kicked 11 consecutive field goals. And you got to go back to the 66 and 67 seasons, and a kicker by the name of Sam Baker to find the last time a kicker for the Eagles kicked as many in a row as Gary Anderson, a longtime veteran from Pittsburgh, now in his 15th year from Syracuse.
Oh, bad kickoff though, Kevin.
And it is scooped up and brought up field by one of the tight ends, Brian Saxton. And that will give the Giants pretty good beginning field position. The quarterback, Dave Brown, at the 37-yard line as an Eagle player is down. Dave Brown last week against the Cowboys, 12 of 18, 110 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He's already thrown a pick today, so now he has 16 for the year. The offensive line shuffled a bit. Missing Brian Williams. They got Schreiber in there at the center. He is flanked by Bishop, Smith, Ron Stone, who played well last week against Dallas, and Scott Gregg at the right tackle. And in the backfield, Rodney Hampton will start, but you're going to see a lot of Tyrone Wheatley today with blocking back Charles Way. Callaway and Dossier are the receivers, and Howard Cross is the tight end.
And Adam Walker is the special team cover man that is down on the field. We're going to show you number 29 in the kick coverage. Here's 29. Watch him as he's going down trying to make the tackle. It was a real bad, had no hang time. He sort of got tripped up before he went into the pile. It looked like he caught somebody's a foot with his own foot. Sort of got tripped up going in there.
Walker is one of the best special teams players for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a free agent signee from the San Francisco 49ers during the offseason. And this is a team, Jerry, which can ill afford to lose great special teams players. It has been a problem throughout most of the year. Special teams have been a great concern for Ray Rhodes. We have an injury timeout at Veterans Stadium.
Number 29 is Adam Walker. He did get up and walk off. Watch him trip and go to his knees, and he sort of got bent over when he made that tackle.
1st and 10 run, and spitting free is Rodney Hampton out to midfield. It's a gain of 13 yards on the carry, finally brought down by rookie Brian Dawkins as Adam Walker will be looked at in the locker room.
Now, you couldn't ask for a better day for a Rodney Hampton style run. Remember, he's straight ahead, no fair dodging. Nice block by that. How about that center just came back in? Adam Schreiber, what a great block by a center who hasn't started but 3 games for the Giants his entire career.
So a 13-yard run by Rodney Hampton. He gets it once again, breaking a couple tackles on the way to the 46-yard line. The defense had a hand in that one, finally brought down by Kevin Johnson. Mike Mamula is on that defensive line. They continue to push him and prod him. They think he can be greater than he is with Red Hall, Hollis Thomas, a rookie, and the great William Fuller at the defensive end. Linebackers, William Thomas. James Willis is back this week, along with Ray Farmer, who picked off a Brown pass earlier. And the secondary, the corners, Taylor and Vincent, much maligned, along with Dawkins and Michael Zordich. It's 2nd down and 6. And the ball is free, but they've blown it down at the 48-yard line. William Fuller got on Dave Brown and brought him down.
And that's news. That's on a defensive unit that hasn't had many sacks. In recent games, they've been fighting to get a sack. And what William Fuller has is a hyperextended left elbow. And that left arm, he can't use his club. His club is where he bangs and swings with that left arm. We talked to him yesterday. He said he thought he could be able to play a little bit better. There, he clubbed with the right arm. You could see it. He can't do much with the left arm. Nice job by Mamula pulling that ball out of there.
So that sack drives him back. It's 3rd down and 12 and 3 receivers for quarterback Dave Brown. Pretty good time. He moves up and he throws short and incomplete at the 35-yard line, looking for wide receiver Chris Callaway. That brings up 4th down, and the Eagle defense, Jerry, which has been struggling the last month, looked pretty good on that series.
And 3rd down has been terrible for the Giants, but 3rd down defense has been terrible for the Eagles. You'll see all zone. So we got the worst 3rd down offense going against a defense that is struggling, and he was getting hit on the hip, so he threw a dirt ball.
Former Eagle Mike Curran, who played here in the mid-'80s, will punt this ball through the wind and rain in Philadelphia. And from the 10-yard line, it's Mark Say, the former San Diego Charger, who breaks a tackle and takes it out to the 23, where he is forced out of bounds by Jason Sehorn. A 42-yard punt with a 13-yard return. It's 3-0 the Eagles. Field goal on an interception from Dave Brown. It's 3-0 Philadelphia on top. 6:10 remaining in the first quarter from Veterans Stadium. Well, next week, Fox's NFL doubleheader action has the Giants and the Dolphins, or the Redskins and the Buccaneers, followed by the Cowboys and the Cardinals, or the Panthers and San Francisco. So tune in next week as the race to the playoff heats up right here on Fox, home of Super Bowl 31. Kevin Harlan, Jerry Glanville in rainy Philadelphia as it's blowing in on us here in the booth.
Got a little wet on that one.
From their own 23, 1st down and 10. Detmer throws, and it's caught by the diving rookie tight end, Jason Dunn. He picks up 5 after being brought down by Jesse Campbell.
And Jason Dunn's been a little bit of a disappointment to the Eagles staff. He usually makes one good play, and then he's done. He goes off injured. Watch him here. They got 2 ends that side, but watch the one on the inside. That's Jason Dunn. Nothing scientific, just a little short out route, but he usually leaves. There he left. He thinks he's hurt again. And the coaches says one play with Dunn, and he's done for the day.
Dunn thinks he's finished. Ed West will take his place. 2nd down 5. And off again to Charlie Gardner, who moves about a yard ahead, and that's about it. Corey Widner makes the stop. Right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Kevin, Boomer Esiason knew that his favorite target, Larry Centers, would be spied on all day. He's got plenty of time, still tries to force it in there. It's picked off. That leads to a 38-yard field goal by Scott Sisson. Vikings up by 3. Kevin and Jerry.
Those are 2 teams, Jerry, fighting for their playoff lives. They both come in 6 up and 6 down.
And the Cardinals are playing with so much speed right now, I think they got a chance to make a run at this division.
3rd down and 5, and Detmer again right on the money. And Ricky Waters breaking tackles. Waters inside the 40 and down at the 36-yard line. Tito Wooten finally caught up to him. That's a pickup of 36 yards.
And Waters has speed like a wideout. That's why they liked him at San Francisco. He'll circle out late. He was the last one to leave the backfield. Again, all crossing routes against the zone. And you can see he has a speed like a defensive back.
A season-long 36-yard catch for Ricky Waters, his 38th of the year. And the handoff on 1st and 10 goes to Waters again. And he works his way to the 31. It's a pickup of 5. Michael Strahan makes the stop. You know, Waters has been complaining about not getting the ball enough.
Well, he's the guy on a day like today that you got to feed the football to. Now, the formation, they ran a lead. The backs are offset, which is very unusual. Watch him come in and then Waters foul. It's a draw to the weak side, and a nice block by Kevin Turner. He loves to run behind Kevin Turner, the old New England Patriot fullback.
And you like Turner.
Oh, I liked him when he was at New England. I hated to see the Patriots let a guy like that go, but he's helping this team.
A 2nd and 5 pass caught by Waters again. He has another first down to the 14-yard line of the Giants. Corey Widmer caught up with them. That's a 17-yard gain on the heels of a 36-yard pickup 2 plays ago.
Well, what they're doing is they're running the crossing routes to eat up the linebackers and then sending Waters out late, crossing over the other way. Watch the 2 backs in the backfield. He's out right away. Look at the backs crisscrossing, and that's eating up the linebackers. And Corey Widmer's all alone then on Waters, and he can't run. He doesn't have the speed. That Montana State linebacker can't run with Waters.
From the 15, 1st and 10, Detmer going to the end zone, and wide open for a touchdown is the tight end, Jason Dunn.
And a nice job by Detmer. He got whacked. They hit him full flush, and he still got the ball off. Well, Jason Dunn came back.
He wasn't finished. Now the Eagles will try for the point after. A 14-yard touchdown pass to Jason Dunn, the rookie out of Eastern Kentucky, with his 2nd reception in the end zone this year, and Anderson bangs it through. And pass completions of 36 yards to Waters and 17 yards to Waters sets up this 14-yard touchdown pass.
Now watch Ty Detmer stand in there. Wham! A good hit on him. That's Keith Hamilton getting a good hit on him. Watch Jason Dunn get into the end zone. Somehow he became invisible after the play fake. Again, that's got to be a bust in the secondary. Somebody's not in the right zone or the right coverage. I don't know if that was Felipe Sparks had the deep third or what coverage they're in, but there's a mental error in the secondary once again.
Eagles have scored the last 2 times they've had the ball. Dunn picks up the 14-yard touchdown pass. And a nice beginning for Ray Rhodes and his Eagles. Detmer on that drive, by the way, Jerry, which encompassed 77 yards and about 3.5 minutes on the clock. Detmer was 4 of 4 on that drive.
I think what you got to say is Ricky Waters was on the receiving end of 2 huge plays out of that 4 out of 4.
36 yards and 17 yards. In fact, Waters has had the ball 9 times out of 18 plays so far in the game. He wanted the ball. He's getting the ball.
Well, I'll tell you what you do. When you're in a bind and you're in a push, you feed the stud. You got a star. Be sure the ball ends up in his hand some way.
Now the subsequent kickoff by Anderson, who kicked it on the ground the last time, and he has not had a touchback this year. And at the 10-yard line, it'll be rookie Conrad Hamilton. And Hamilton takes it up by the 25 to the 27-yard line. Ryan Dawkins brings him down, and the Giants will get it back. Ricky Waters has been carrying the ball 50% of the time today on the ground and through the air, and you can see, Jerry, what's happened during the season and what's happened the last couple of games in terms of his percentage of involvement in the Eagle offense.
91% of the rushes. They're trying to change that today with giving Garner more of a chance to carry that ball. And he's probably got more carries today than what he's had. I think he's got a couple of carries already, and they say they're going to give him 10.
Well, let's see how the Giants respond. Down 10-0 as Brown throws a floater, and it's knocked down on the corner by Bobby Taylor. Chris Callaway was in the sights of Brown. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, it was an all-out blitz on Brown, and the Giants picked it up beautiful. And you got to throw a better ball than this when you got one-on-one. Here's Bobby Taylor singled up, and you can see the blitz coming from the safety. But this ball hangs. This ball arrives real late. Not a good throw that time, not a hard pass.
And Taylor struggled last week against Arizona.
I tell you what, the corners, the head coach Ray Rhodes says we got to help our corners. They've been beat a little bit the last couple of weeks.
Tyrone Wheatley is in the game for the first time. 2nd down and 10, and Wheatley gets the call. Breaks 1 tackle and then is stacked up and brought down for maybe a gain of a yard. That's about it. Kevin Johnson makes the stop. We talked to Tyrone Wheatley at length yesterday here in Philadelphia.
That was a great interview. Here's a guy that nobody thinks he can run up inside because he was so effective on the sweeps early. But to run up inside, he told us he just needs to get lathered up. He needs more than 2 or 3 carries. He needs about 9 carries, he says, and then he can start finding the holes and picking his way up through there.
He told us experience is everything. 3rd down and 9. Gary Downs is in the backfield as Brown retreats in the pocket. He's got to get to the 37 for a first down, and he is short by a yard. William Thomas saw to that. He slammed the door shut. And the Giants, for a 2nd consecutive time, have got to punt the ball, and again the Eagle defense does their job.
And he escaped from a sack, and the Giants, they're so bad on 3rd down, they kept him both back. Neither back leaves. Both these guys stay in there to try to help the protection, and they still get pressure on him. And of all guys, that's Darian Connor chasing. Watch Zordes. Oh, boy, the strong safety, Michael Zordes, comes up and makes sure he doesn't get the first down. Nice cleanup by Michael Zordes.
It's interesting to see Brown running like that. He still has that back injury that he suffered a couple weeks ago.
Imagine getting a muscle pulled off the bone. You'd have a sore back, wouldn't you?
Mike Horan's first boot went 42 yards. This is similar, but it's off the hands of Mark Say and deep back inside the 10, and it's a fumble, and the Giants have recovered the ball at the Eagle 8-yard line.
That wet ball, it sort of hit him in the chest and bounced out of there. And because of injuries, Say was moved up to the #1 punt returner. Oh boy, he had it in his arms. He's trying to catch it with his elbows. Excellent coverage by the Giants. They're all down there flying around trying to find it.
Charles Way is the one who jumped on the ball.
Oh, Way came right over the top of him. Nice job by Charles.
So the Giants have new life. And Philadelphia, born and raised, Charles Way with the big play. 1st and goal from the Eagle 9 for New York. Rodney Hampton around the Way block, and he slithers to the 6 where Hollis Thomas brings him down on a gain of 3.
And I think this is a good job by the Giants coaching staff. Get Hampton back in there. This is his type of field. He's the mother. Watch Charles Way lead it. Nice kick out block. The guard's pulling out through there. That's Ron Stone. And then Way trying to lead up through.
Ron Stone had a good week last week against Dallas.
I like both guards for the Giants. I like Lance Smith and Ron Stone.
2nd down goal from the 6. The fake by Brown, and there's a fumble on the play. And it is loose and recovered by the Eagles at the 22-yard line.
Wow, that was close to being a touchdown for the Eagles. If he could have picked that up, he'd have been off and running. You're seeing the wet, hard ball to hold on to. And this was a bootleg. It was a bootleg pass, something they don't do much of. Ray Farmer's on the blitz. Ray Farmer's on the blitz and hit the ball with his left hand. Now, if William could have picked that up, he could have run that in. But they're thrilled to death just to get the ball back.
So the Eagles have fumbled at the Giant 12. The Giants have fumbled at the Eagle 23. And the weather, as we predicted, playing a role early in this game.
We thought maybe, it'd be Waters, the guy dropping the ball. Everybody's dropped the ball but Waters.
Waters is at the top of your screen as a receiver as Detmer changes the play. 10 seconds left in the first quarter with the 1st and 10. A short drop and the quick throw, and Chris T. Jones makes the grab near the 25-yard line. And he's out to the 27. He picks up 4 on the play, and 4 seconds remains in the first quarter.
And Irvin Fryer did a good job as a vet bringing Chris T. Jones back. I asked him about that yesterday, and Irvin Fryer said he got with that youngster and that rookie, and he told him what he had to do to put last week's game to sleep. And I think he did a good job of helping that youngster come back and play.
The first quarter has come to a close. The Eagles with the touchdown pass. They lead New York 10-0. pass from Dave Brown. They converted on a field goal, and then later they got a 14-yard touchdown pass. They lead it 10-0. And the Eagles, who have lost 3 consecutive games with the win today, Jerry, get a share of first place in the East with Washington and with Dallas. We begin the second quarter with the 2nd down and 6 with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan from Philadelphia, and Ricky Waters tries to pick and weave his way upfield, picking up 4 to the 31, and he is hit first by Keith Hamilton.
And the Eagles are getting a push, and one big factor is the fullback. Watch Kevin Turner. He'll be the lead block just like Charles Way is when the Giants have the ball. What a nice block. Oh, man, he just turns old Marcus Buckley right on out of there. Marcus Buckley didn't put up enough fight on that thing.
Buckley taking the place of the injured Corey Miller. 3rd down and 2. Detmer hit and brought down. Sacked on the wing by Chad Bratsky, who had his best game of the season last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Detmer goes down. The Eagles have got to punt the ball.
And Barrett Brooks got beat here, and Brodsky just keeps playing better and better. There's the protection, and I tell you what, we've seen Brodsky the last 3 weeks, and I think he's growing up into a real good football player.
That's his first sack of the season.
Nice job. He threw Brooks right to the outside and came underneath. He's got good strength. Here's a guy that was undersized, didn't even have a scholarship, went to Eastern Kentucky. Had his family, they made him eat 8 meals a day so he could grow up into a football player.
Into a big football player. Arthur Marshall on the Hutton punt is driven back and brought down at the 24-yard line. A 51-yard punt, but the veteran Johnny Thomas was all over it. Kevin Harlan, Jerry Glanville, Philadelphia. Tyrone Wheatley in the backfield for Dave Brown. The Giants down 10-0. And a handoff goes to the Michigan grad. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up. And it's another fumble. And it's loose and down at the 15. And the Eagles have recovered. And Mike Mamula is the one to swallow it up. The 3rd Giants turnover in the rain and cold of Philadelphia.
Well, we called it early that we thought there could be a lot of fumbling, but I guess everybody's fumbling this thing. Here's Tyrone Wheatley. He's going to follow Ron Stone, the pulling guard, turns up inside, gets gonked on the head pretty good. And there's Farmer. Farmer's got an interception. He caused the fumble, pulled the ball out, then Farmer fumbles.
The Eagles will be at the 14-yard line of New York. There are a couple tight ends, and the flags are thrown and the whistles are blown, and they stop that play in mid-motion. And now some extracurricular activity as Jesse Armstead is in the middle. Well, a little pushing and shoving. You know, last week, Keith Hamilton of the Giants was in quite a battle with Dallas's Ray Donaldson and Nate Newton. A lot of talk, a lot of shoving after plays like this.
Well, there's a surprise. There's Kevin Turner. He's wanting to fight everybody and doesn't have a helmet. Now, I know he went to Alabama, but they teach you better than that at Alabama.
Number 72 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Joe Panos was the penalty, and somehow Turner got in a fight, and he lost. When you ever lose your helmet in a fight like that, Kevin, the first thing you do is look to see if your head's inside that helmet.
But you want to keep on the headgear when you're fighting.
Don't be fighting without a headgear. All of a sudden, your nose will be from ear to ear. You know, Irvin Fryer had he had his nose broken last week when we interviewed Irvin Fryer. He still had 2 black eyes from getting his nose splattered just a week ago.
Penalty pushes it back 5. It's 1st and 15 for Philadelphia. Ricky Waters is gobbled up at the line of scrimmage by Jesse Armstead, who is the best player on the field for the Giants last week, and he's had a great beginning today here in Philly.
What an outstanding open field tackle by him right there. Here's a guy that always had the speed. He could always run and fly, but it took him a couple years to head in the right direction. He told us now he doesn't even think about it. Now he has that comfort zone that he had in college football, and you can see it the way he's playing. He feels comfortable about himself.
So the Eagles trying to cash in on a Giants fumble at 2nd down and 15. Detmer is 10 of 11. And into the end zone and a touchdown. His 2nd of the day. This time receiver Irving Fryer. He gets his first touchdown reception in 3 games, his 8th of the year. And Irving Fryer, who has caught 3 passes today, comes up big. And the Eagles cash in on a Giants fumble, and they get 6.
Jason Sehorn had him on the outside cut. I think Jason was looking for inside help on the slant, but I didn't see the safety jump up in there.
A high snap put down nicely by the holder, Tom Hutton. The extra point is good. And the Philadelphia Eagles are all over the Giants early at the vet, 17-0. A couple touchdown passes by the Eagles quarterback Ty Detmer on the secondary of the New York Giants. It's quickly 17-0 Philadelphia.
What the Eagles did, they made a nice play. They ran the tight end, Jason Dunn, down through the middle. That ate up Jesse Campbell, the safety, and that left Sehorn alone on the outside to try to cover that route. We're going to show you a picture of that right after the kickoff.
There were some questions, Jerry, about the Eagles coming into this game, having lost 3 consecutive games. Was the team unraveling? Had they lost their swagger? Where was their confidence?
I think they were down and depressed because they lost 3 games that they could have won. I think sometimes when you get beat at the end of a game, it hurts more than getting beat by 50.
Anderson's kickoff will drive. Conrad Hamilton a yard deep, and he bobbled the ball, but picks it back up and takes it out to the 21 as he is spun around like a top. And down he goes, tackled by James Fuller. Let's take a look at that touchdown again.
The key is Jason Dunn. He's going to run through and take the safety. Here's Sehorn on the outside of Irving Fryer, so there'll be no safety to help on the corner route. Watch Jason Dunn, big 87. He'll tie there. He's tying up the safety, so there's no inside help for the corner. So Sehorn thinks maybe he's going to get help from the safety, but the tight end took all the help away. Nice design by the Eagles.
Rugged day so far for the New York Giants. And a handoff goes to Tyrone Wheatley, who plows his way ahead, gets outside the 25 to the 26. And on the play, he picks up 5. Right now for McDonald's Game Break, let's return to sunny Hollywood in our Fox Television Center and James Brown.
Kevin, Howie Long said that Trent Dilfer would get an education with this Carolina defense. He does. Corner blitz by Torrey Cook. Fumble, return for the score by Sean King. Hey, Kevin, tell Jerry, a scary thought about your head in the helmet rolling away.
It is. Just make sure it's not your own head. 2nd down and 5. Tyrone Wheatley with the big hole up the middle and caroms off bodies to the 45-yard line. Michael Zordich chased him down. That's a gain of 19 yards.
And talking to this guy, I was never on his side till a couple of weeks ago, and he started showing that he can run up in there. Watch him run the cutback and just make people miss. He's got the speed. Here's a guy that sort of took care of his family. Here's a guy that lost his... He never had time to have fun as a kid because he had to take care of his younger brother.
1st down and 10. Callaway is on the move. Wheatley again. And he picks up a couple. Yeah, he said at 14, Jerry, he was the head of his household, taking care of his younger brother and his sister.
And he said that's why he didn't come out early. Everybody thought he was going to come out of Michigan a year early. But he said for the first time, his brother was living with his uncle. He didn't have to worry about it. And the most fun he ever had was in college because he didn't have to worry about taking care of anybody.
He was a kid again.
Yeah, and now he's with the Giants. He's got his 15-year-old brother back working with him.
He said he would stay his 6th or 7th year at Michigan. He enjoyed it so much.
He told us yesterday he'd go back. He had so much fun. I think he's going to have a lot of fun as a Giant because he's getting better every game.
Had a career game last week against Dallas, 69 yards. 2nd down, 8 yards to go for Brown, who throws low and incomplete. Chris Callaway trying to scoop it up. And that's incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down as you see scores from around the NFL.
Well, that was a quick slant, and the quick slant's got to be thrown better than this. Let's see if they bump the receiver. This is Callaway out on the outside. He's totally untouched, so the throw can't be there. That's a terrible throw down and away behind you. When there's no bump, no pressure to disrupt the route, the ball's got to be there. That should have been an easy 6-7 yard gain. Bad throw.
3rd down and 8 for Brown. Quick drop and a 1st down strike and a nice catch made by Kevin Alexander, a rookie free agent from Utah State. He picks up 11 and gets a 1st down, and an Eagle player is down out at the 43-yard line, looking like William Fuller on the defensive line.
Watch this pass, Kevin. This is the same one he just missed, and that tells me he can throw the quick slant to his right and he doesn't feel good throwing it to the left. So as a coaching staff, make the slant go to your right, make the out route come to the left. But that slant was perfect compared to the last throw.
Now to the layman, it would look like he's a right-handed quarterback. Going to the right is easy. Is there more to it than that?
It's turning the hips, and you got to turn your hips one way to back up, and it's hard to turn them back around and slant the other way.
All right, time now for our Aflac trivia question. Who is the only Philadelphia Eagle to lead the NFL in rushing? The answer's coming up. Fuller just walked off the field. We'll go to the sideline in a second and get an update on him. And the 1st and 10 handoff goes to Tyrone Wheatley, who is inside the Eagle 40. Kevin Johnson made the first hit, and there they're working on Fuller on the Eagle sideline.
But Scott Gregg made a good legal chop block on him. He wasn't engaged with any other players, so the block was legal, and he got him down. That last play is what I love to watch the Giants. Lance Smith pulled out. Lance Smith pulls out and does the kick-out block. Kick-out meaning kick the man on the line. Watch the guard come out. Watch the boom right on Farmer, and there goes Charles. Show me the way up through the hole.
2nd down and 8, 7th play of the drive, and the throw goes to Charles Way, who makes his first catch today, and he's down to the 36-yard line, and he picks up a gain of 4. Last week, Way had a key reception deep in Dallas territory, which set up a 1st and goal. One of the biggest plays of the game in the Giant win.
And not only the reception, Kevin, it was the run after he caught it. He ran over people and drug people.
3 of them.
Here's a guy, he was the most valuable player in high school in Philadelphia. As a running back, as a linebacker, and a good tough guy, a guy that helps him in the running game with his blocking more than he does carrying the football.
It's the best drive of the day, the 6th possession of the New York Giants. They got a crucial 3rd and 4. They're down 17-0. They got to get something going here. We're in the 2nd quarter. The pump fake by Brown, the sack by Philadelphia. The 3rd today of Brown, back at the 43. He was hit initially by Greg Jefferson, number 79. That's his 2nd sack of the year. And what that effectively does is it pushes the Giants out of field goal range now, and they got to punt the ball.
Wow. What was unusual, too, there, Kevin, it was just a split normal formation, regular people, and the Eagles were in a nickel, so there was no place to throw the ball. They had everybody comboed, which means doubled up. The formation did not give the Eagles any problem.
Bad snap to the veteran Harlan, but he kept his cool and has a nice kick to the side, and Hamilton tries to save it like he did last week, and it goes into the end zone. Same thing happened to Hamilton last week with the big play. 43-yard punt. Flag trivia question: who is the only Philadelphia Eagle to lead the NFL in rushing? And the answer, the great Steve Van Buren, who led the league in rushing not only in 47 but in 48 and in 1949, 3 consecutive years.
You got to tell everybody, Kevin, I missed that. Tell them who I picked.
You picked Wilbert Montgomery, who was a pretty good choice.
Pretty good choice. I lost on that one. That's my first F on a test since the last test I took.
From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 pass, and it's caught up the middle for a gain of 6. And Ricky Waters finally brought down by Marcus Buckley. Nice gain on 1st down. Makes 2nd and 3rd down a little bit easier.
What they're doing is they're running so many crossing routes against the zone that Corey Whitmer's got to decide which back he's going to take. They run one back in front of him, and then Waters comes out late. So they're really wearing out the inside linebacker with all the crossing routes. He's seeing more than one each zone drop. Pretty smart by the Eagles.
Nice balance for the Eagles today, too. 2nd down and 4. Waters and a minimal gain. Robert Harris wrapped him up at the line of scrimmage. The Giants, Jerry, played so physically last week against Dallas. They were hoping to continue that here today in Philly.
And that's exactly what Rhodes said. Rhodes said this will be the most physical defense we play against all year. And we're talking about that middle linebacker on that play. Corey Whitmer, here's a guy that played at Montana State. He lives in Bozeman, Montana. When you go from Bozeman, Montana to Manhattan, New York, you don't even think you're in the same country, let alone the same earth.
What a culture.
The same. He's from planet Rock.
Okay, Dr. Sagan, thank you for that. 3rd down and 4. 17-0 the Eagles as Detmer is changing the play. And Ricky Waters was his answer, and Waters may have shoved past the 30 for a 1st down. He got a great block from his right guard, Lester Holmes, and indeed they moved the chains.
Well, Lester Holmes is blocking on Robert Harris. So Robert Harris not only has to beat Lester Holmes, then he has to try to make the tackle. Watch him get off good, but he's giving up too much yardage. He's playing 2 gaps. They're asking Robert Harris to do too much.
6.5 remaining in the half. First down and 10 yards to go for Philadelphia. The handoff goes to Turner, who is getting a pretty good block upfield from Ricky Waters. And he loses a couple on the play. Chad Bransky shot through and made the tackle. As you take a look at Kevin Turner.
And Chad Bransky, we talk about him every time we do a Giant game, a guy that just keeps improving. He's got their #1 pick, Kevin, sitting on the bench because he's playing so good. Watch 77 just come right underneath Brooks's block and make that stop.
#1 pick is Cedric Jones.
And Cedric Jones can't get a sniff. He can't get in because this youngster's playing better.
Bransky has a sack and a couple tackles. Here's a 2nd and 13 now, negotiated by Detmer, who throws it away. The pressure was coming up the middle from Robert Harris, and Detmer had no place to run and no place to hide. 3rd down.
And Ty using his brains there, making the right decision to throw that thing away. Not doing anything stupid, giving the ball up.
Former Heisman Trophy winner from BYU, sat on the bench in Green Bay and back of quarterback Brett Favre, but learned a lot when he was there.
Probably started learning also when he was with his dad. His dad's a high school coach, coached him in high school, and is still coaching in high school in Texas.
San Antonio, Texas. Pretty good on 3rd down today, this Eagle offense. 3rd down and 13, and they blow it dead. There was 4 seconds left in the play clock, and a timeout is taken by Ty Detmer. Ray Rhodes trying to stop a 3-game losing skid. He leads the Giants 17-0.
That's where I get all my news from. That X-Files show.
Oh, those are the files you're talking about. I think they're NFL files.
No, the X-Files.
Scouting files. Oh, I got you. 3rd
all
down.
out blitz. All out blitz.
3rd down and 13. Detmer escapes it handily and then throws, and the pass is caught for a 1st down. Mark Say into Giant territory, and the blitz was coming from Thomas Randolph, but on 3rd and 13, Detmer converts for 22 yards and an Eagle 1st down.
Not only that, the blitz is from the corner all the way out here. Jason Sehorn is coming from the corner position. You'll see. Oh, that's 23.
Thomas Randolph.
It was a corner blitz coming off the wide receiver.
7th play of the Eagle drive, which began back on the Philadelphia 20. Eating up time, now under 5 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Waters on the move, as is Detmer, with great time, and the throw is caught by tight end Ed West. The former Green Bay Packer is down to the 32. He picks up 18. Another Eagle 1st down.
That whole play was the quarterback. Nobody was open. He patted the ball. He looked. Watch how many receivers he looks for. He's the whole field. He's looking. He's waiting all the crossing routes, and he had the courage to stand in there and hold that football.
Detmer has had a wonderful start to the game with the 2 touchdowns, 14 of 16 through the air.
Well, I never had a quarterback do that against air.
I know. 1st down and 10. The handoff goes to Ricky Waters, and Waters is inside the 30, weaving his way to the 26. And he picks up 7 on the play before Jesse Campbell brings him down.
I think what we're seeing is Kevin Turner's best ball game. The lead blocker is blocking like it may be his last game. There's the lead block, and they'll jump on over here. This is called a lead draw. Wham! Look at him pick up the defensive end, defensive tackle. Nice job.
Ricky Waters has had great success against the Giants in 5 games. He has rushed for 100 yards or more in 4 of those 5. Off to a great start today. 2nd down and 3, and here's Charlie Garner. And he's close to a 1st down near the 22-yard line. Garner was not getting a lot of snaps, not a lot of touches of the football because Waters, quite frankly, Jerry, early in the season was so successful.
And then they were going to play Garner some, and he got that sprained ankle. So that held him out a bit. But the coach, he's got 3 rushes for 6 yards, and the coach said they're going to give him 10 today. So I think the coach is trying to stay on target.
I remember last year talking to these guys in a game we had at Washington. They're thunder and lightning, a great tandem, but this year it's been mostly Waters. Now Waters is in with Kevin Turner. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia near the 22 of New York, and the draw play goes to Turner as they try to shuffle that backfield a bit, and he pummels ahead to the 19-yard line with a gain of 3, and Robert Harris makes the stop.
Didn't you say Kevin Turner carried that ball?
Yes.
Now remember me showing you Kevin Turner lead Now watch. Here's Kevin Turner, but there is no lead. He goes in there suicidal. They're not going to let Ricky Waters go in. It's like Liberace. He played the piano. He didn't carry it in. You had to get somebody else to drag the piano in.
Liberace. when you start talking about Liberace, I know that we are in trouble.
Oh, we're doing TV, my friend.
Second down 7, 11th play of the drive. A drive which has lasted over 6 minutes for Philadelphia. Oh, well-designed screen with the great block. It's Waters inside the 10 and out of bounds near the 5, setting up 1st and goal to go for the Philadelphia Eagles. A great block on the run by Guy McIntyre.
And you saw the whole thing coming. This whole thing, they're pulling the left guard, Guy McIntyre. Watch the left guard, watch him sneak around and follow. And what they're doing now is they're picking the defense like a chicken wing. Nice block downfield. They got Jason Sehorn pushed out of the picture in a big game.
And a flag, Jerry, was thrown, and it's against the Eagles.
Whoa.
It came in right at the end of the play with the nice block there by Irving Fryer, but all for naught as they march it back against Philadelphia. And here's Howard Rowe.
Did they call who the penalty was on?
I believe it was on Guy McIntyre. Thus, the play is wiped out. The ball pushed back to the 23.
Well, Guy McIntyre was the guy blocking Jason Sehorn downfield, and he had a hold of him. Maybe he got a hold of him and got his hands in there. We thought it was a good block from up here, but maybe he grabbed him.
And that was the call. 17-0 Philadelphia. 2-minute warning. Back at the 2-minute warning, second down and 11, 12th play of the drive. Detmer with the quick throw and a nice catch by the tight end Dunn inside the 15 and down to the 9-yard line. And that's good for a first down. 1st and goal on a gain of 14 by rookie tight end Jason Dunn.
Well, if you look where Corey Whitmer's lined up, here's the tight end, and Corey Whitmer has the tight end. He's all the way in here looking. He's got to try to take that, look, and chase the tight end to the flat. That's a tough job. It's a good thing that Corey can run, or that would have been a touchdown. That's a tough assignment. I think the Eagles are taking advantage of what they've seen on film, and they got Whitmer lined up in some tough spots.
On 1st and goal from the 9, Waters got a block and takes it down to the 7. Chopped down at the ankles by Tito Wooten. Waters today, Jerry, has not only run the ball well, that's his 7th carry. He has 6 catches, and that ties a season high. So he's done it on the ground and through the air this afternoon.
They're doing a good job crisscrossing the backs out of the backfield, just what you're talking about. And the first back leaves, Kevin Turner leaves first, and then he comes trailing in there behind him.
Second down goal. Great game for Waters from the 7-yard line. Waters, he got a block up the middle, and he is to the 2.
And Kevin Turner was leading up over the right guard and tackle, but Waters cut it back. And here's Turner. He doesn't follow. He sees it, and then he'll decide, I don't like it all the way out there. And he comes to his inside. Nice hole for him. Finding that hole.
Timeout taken. Philadelphia has it. Down to 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Eagles on the move. Time report, JB and Terry will bring you scores and highlights from today's NFL action. Also, don't miss Fox Sports NFL Sunday's Choice Cuts. 3rd down and goal from the 2. Say is on the move. Detmer with time and the throw, and it's a touchdown. His 3rd touchdown pass today, and the first to Chris T. Jones.
The whole game has been crossing routes underneath, and you saw it again. He's just 1 inch over the line of scrimmage, the goal line rather, when he makes the catch. But the crossing routes are eating up the zones.
Anderson for the point after. Hutton on the hole, and the kick is through. And the Eagles are shutting out New York 24-0. And on that drive, which lasted well over 6 minutes, a 22-yard pass to Say, an 18-yard pass to tight end Ed West, and a 14-yard pass to Jason Dunn. Capped off on this 2-yard touchdown pass to Chris T. Jones.
Watch on the left of your screen. Watch the crossing route come underneath the defensive backs. There's the first one, and there's the trailer. So they're sending one man through, just like they did with the backs, and then sending Chris T. Jones underneath the first crossing route.
Eagles have had the ball 6 times. They've scored 4 of the 6 possessions, as Ty Detmer is having a marvelous game with his 3rd touchdown pass today. How about Chris T. Jones? Christopher Todd Jones. There were 7 Joneses who played at the University of Miami, but he wanted to stand out. And so he changed it to Chris T. Jones. An almost 8-minute drive, 80 yards on the ground. Jones the touchdown catch, and Detmer on the drive, 6 of 7, and the touchdown pass.
And Jones had the back spasms last week, didn't play good, dropped some balls, ran some wrong routes. In fact, he's the only guy Ty Detmer was screaming and hollering at 1 week ago.
Conrad Hamilton from the 5-yard line gets the Gary Anderson kickoff, and he's stuck and popped at the 20-yard line. Whacked good by Ray Farmer.
Woo!
So now the Eagles are getting a little bit of momentum in this game. This game presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Even those two. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. You've got to dress warm today. It has rained since the get-go in Philadelphia.
And the Giant fans there, I think they're dressed in camouflage.
And why not?
Yeah, but they never thought this would happen to them in the first half.
Especially after their remarkable afternoon and their win against Dallas just 1 week ago. Wheatley in the backfield, Brown right to work on 1st and 10. And a sidearm pass is juggled and then dropped by Chris Callaway, who was chased over on the side by linebacker Mark Woodard. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and a tough day for Dan Reeves.
Well, even if Callaway would have caught that ball, Kevin, he had a 1-yard gain. I don't know why, I don't know why the ball's going there anyway. What I'd like, you never see the deep ball with the Giants. You never see the deep throw.
Where's the speed?
I don't know. You got me.
That would seem to limit this offense just a bit.
Yeah, I don't think maybe they have the pieces to go deep.
2nd down and 10 handoff. Tyrone Wheatley, not much up the middle, and then he makes the most out of what little he had. Should have been a gain of about 2, and instead he spurts ahead for 6, and Mike Mamula makes the stop.
And run the lead up in there when you're down 24-0.
Ty Detmer with 3 touchdown passes, and it's been all Philadelphia. That's the end of the first half. JB and Terry will be along from the Fox Television Center with the Doctors. Can't be halftime. After these messages from your local Fox station.
And that's how they're beating the Giants today.
So Dave Brown has struggled during the first half, and in comparison to Ty Detmer, well, there is no comparison. I mean, it's like 2 different quarterbacks.
And you see 15 yards, but you take away the yardage on sacks, and this ends up a -5. Nothing to write home about here. What a holiday.
17 of 19 for Ty Detmer, over 200 yards passing so far. And the Eagles have dominated the first half, 24-0. As Tyrone Wheatley awaits to return this opening kickoff of the second half. Back there with Conrad Hamilton, and Gary Anderson once again sets. And the second half is underway. And into the end zone, and Anderson with his first touchback of the season. Anderson initially was kicking off for the Eagles. Then he lost the job to the punter Hutton. Then he got it back about week 6 or 7. And that's his first touchback of the year. And we have some shoving after the play, which is broken up by Howard Rowe's crew. And through 30 minutes of football in Veterans Stadium this afternoon, here are the numbers.
And I think this is the key one. -5 yards passing. The 3 turnovers didn't help it. And you got to go look over on the other side. 204 yards passing in a half. They've done a remarkable job with this young quarterback on the Eagles.
Rodney Hampton is in the backfield from the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 yards to go. And the handoff goes to Hampton, who can only lean ahead and pick up a yard. Rookie Hollis Thomas makes the stop. And the Giants had 7 first-half possessions, 3 turnovers, 3 punts at halftime.
But you got to also look, they had 1 8-play drive with a punt, but 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not getting to heaven on roller skates doing that, I promise you.
Even if the roller blades, you're
No.
not going to get up there. That's what it's appeared to be sometimes on this field, as slick as it has been with all the moisture. Second down and 9. Quick slant. Nice defensive play as Bobby Taylor was all over Chris Callaway, and there is yellow on the play.
And he had his left hand on the waist, turning the wide receiver when he reached in to swat it. And that was definitely a penalty.
It's against the Eagles. And this may jumpstart the Giants. There's a former defensive back, Ray
Number
Rhodes.
21 on a defense. First down.
Watch Bobby Taylor's left arm on the waist. And he actually pulls him when he reaches in. Watch Bobby Taylor's left arm right on Callaway, pulling right off his shoulder, really trying to turn him around. Definitely a penalty.
Started last year as a rookie. Drew a lot of rave reviews around the NFL, but this year it's been a little bit different for Bobby Taylor.
Well, they've isolated him more. They play more single coverage out there, so you get in trouble more often.
First and 10. Brown with a nice fake, and he's whacked after he throws the pass, which is coughed up and incomplete. Chris Callaway at the 35. I was waiting to see the referee. He didn't make any motion. Then he finally ruled it incomplete.
And this was crossing routes against the zone. I think this is the most zone we've seen the Eagles play in a while. They're not really man-to-man. As you watch Troy Vincent, he just has deep third. And a ball, nice job by Callaway trying to come back to a low, soft pass.
They've thrown to him 5 times. He has yet to grab a Dave Brown pass today. Second down, 10, Rodney Hampton. And he fumbles the ball, and it's loose and recovered by the New York Giants. At the 23, Lawrence Dawsey, who starts today in place of the injured Thomas Lewis, fell on it. Troy Vincent jarred it free.
And the Eagles are playing cover 2. Cover 2 means the corner is going to roll up and has the short flat in the run. You'll see the corner come all the way up. There he comes right there. That's Troy Vincent because the safeties are staying deep. Nothing that the Eagles play much of. They're not a big. Look at him. There's Troy hitting the ball. The corner can only be there because the safety has deep half of the field.
Wheatley has come in. It's third down and 12. Brown. Thomas got through on the blitz. The throw is bobbled and intercepted on the play by Troy Vincent. And he's down inside the Giant 14-yard line. Brown's second interception, the 4th Giant turnover. And there's an exasperated look on the face of Charles Way.
And you can see I thought this ball was going to be caught because Vincent's way off. And it's a great play by the right tackle of the Giants. Scott Gregg stops a touchdown. Vincent thinks he's got 6, and watch the big right tackle force him out of bounds right there. Good effort by the right tackle of the Giants, Scott Gregg. Watch 74 start running, and he knows he's the last guy. He's got to make the tackle, and he does get him to step out of bounds.
Well, the Eagles have converted 3 previous turnovers into 10 points. First down and 10. Ricky Waters to the 10, to the 9, and then grabbed by Jesse Campbell. And he picks up 5 on the play.
And a nice tackle by Jesse Campbell. Stuck him good and kept his legs running. Ricky Waters' legs won't die, so Campbell's could not. Campbell kept his legs going, so they were both prancing like a couple of ponies trying to push each other the other way.
Number 2 in the NFL in all-purpose offense, Ricky Waters, the former San Francisco 49er, who came to Philadelphia because of his like for Ray Rhodes, the former Niner defensive coordinator.
And didn't want to run out of the split backfield at the 49ers. Wanted to be in the eye, wanted to be in the single back. And that's what's changed for him here with this offense.
Second down and 6. Detmer has got Chris T. Jones at the 5, and he spins to the 3 and close to a first down. Jason Sehorn wrapped him up. And the spot will tell us if it's a goal to go.
Crossing routes, crossing routes. Will you be the quarterback? Watch all the crossing routes. Watch how this, there goes Jason Dunn going one way. Look at the wide receiver coming from the other side, and that's Chris T. Jones. And the crossing routes, we've said it 5-6 times, are eating up the zones of the Cowboys.
And look at the time that Detmer has to throw the football.
And he stands back there pretty cool. He's not nervous. He's got courage.
First and goal to go for the Philadelphia Eagles, who begin the second half where they left off in the first.
And beginning with, they're doing the crossing routes out of different formations. And that's how Ricky Waters caught his when they did it with the backs. And now you see it with the wideouts and the tight end involved. But it's all quiet. The patterns haven't changed, just the personnel has, a different type of receivers.
On the 3, 1st and goal. Waters in the backfield with Turner, who's on the move, and now they split. Detmer rolling out of the pocket and throws, and it's dropped in and out of the hands of wide receiver Irving Fryer, who already has a touchdown pass thrown to him today. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And Jason had him, but it looked to me like he had him on inside cuts. I'm surprised in the slot, Jason's not outside of him. You don't get the alignment. You get him here where the receiver is wider than the DB.
Why should he be outside?
Why, the safety helps inside. I thought he would play outside leverage because most slot, when the slot breaks outside, you got to be outside to cover.
2nd down goal from the 3. Ricky Waters, and he dances to the 1. He did not get in. He is shy of the goal line. And that'll set up 3rd and goal. The tackle made by Chad Bratsky, and as it turns out, a touchdown saving tackle.
Wow, I hollered because of Kevin Turner. This may be his best game. Watch the lead block. He flattens the guy. He's going to come up inside. There's the fullback. He's coming right at Marcus Buckley. Boom! Buckley's on his butt. What a block. This is Turner's best game.
That is a ring to it. 3rd and goal. Waters penetrates, and no signal yet from the referees if he got in. As they impile the bodies, although the body language of the Eagle players would tell you that he is in, but no sign yet from Howard Rowe's crew. As the Giants valiantly try to put up a goal line stand, it will be 4th and goal. The Eagles did not get in. Cedric Jones and Coleman Rudolph made the tackle for Dan Reeves' defense.
And I think because of the position of the ball being inside the 1, so close you don't take a field goal. You can see it's like inches away.
3 tight ends. Ricky Waters dots the I. Waters around the Turner block is short. He did not get in. And what a great goal line stand by the New York Giant defense. And again at 77, Chad Bratsky.
And you got to be proud of the Giants. They're down 24-0. The ball's on the 1-inch line, and there's no surrender. There's no give up, and here comes the power play. Now, I think that's a bad play selection by the Eagles. You're an inch away, and they carry the ball all the way across the formation. And look at all the Giants. Gang tackling, trying to stop this play. I think the Eagles helped them by carrying the ball sideways.
Now the Eagle defense can inflict the kind of damage that we just saw from the Giants. If they can hold New York in, they can still get pretty good field position, but they've got to hold it. And the quarterback sneak taken by Brown, who tries to give the Giants some breathing room, and he's out to the 2-yard line and a gain of about a yard. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Well, you're 99 yards away. I always thought if you're 99 yards away, you can't chug it that far. You have to have a big event, and it's a great time to throw for a touchdown. Try to get it all 99 yards away. Don't throw the 17-yard hook or the slant. We haven't seen a go or an up route since we've been doing the Giants.
But as we said in halftime, their speed is all back home. Injured and out. Amani Tuner.
Good point. Their fast guys aren't here.
And Thomas Lewis. 2nd down, 9. Rodney Hampton. And that is probably a gain of nothing as James Willis, the former Green Bay Packer linebacker, comes through.
We're going to put you right into play here if you're sitting at home in your living room. Show me the way 30. Trying to follow him, and they got a man broke clean on the inside, James Willis.
And Willis did not play last week in Arizona because of a knee. But he's playing today and had a great effect on this game. 3rd down and 9. Brown to throw, and the pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and whacked by Red Hall. And so the Eagle defense does their job.
Well, let me tell you, if the ball wasn't blocked, it was intercepted by Bobby Taylor. Bobby Taylor had the slant. He was running the route better than the receiver. He took a guess, and he knows he had an interception with a touchdown if the ball wasn't blocked on the line of scrimmage. Watch Bobby Taylor. He's not covering this guy. He's taking the slant. There it is. He had the ball. That's right where the ball was going. So the lineman, the defensive lineman, saved the Giants that time.
Harlan with wind in his face. End over end short kick landing at the 39. Marseille will just let it die at the 41. And so indeed the Eagle defense does their job, and the Eagles will get great offensive field position from the 41-yard line. It's 24-0 Philadelphia. There in the middle of your screen you see Philadelphia Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie. Who's that man?
That is Dr. J, but he's hiding behind the pole.
Julius Irving on the 41-yard line of the Giants. Detmer throws, and it's incomplete. Looked like his arm may have been hit on the oncoming rush put on him by Robert Harris, the former Minnesota Viking. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
And I don't think he felt any urgency. I think he's been so on touch for so long. He was taking his good slow time there. And look at this field position. They're average starting on their own 46-yard line.
That explains the 24-0 lead. 2nd down and 10 inside the 42. Detmer has thrown 3 touchdown passes today, and the handoff goes to Ricky Waters, who picks his way near the 37 before Percy Ellsworth, the good-looking rookie defensive back for New York, makes the tackle.
And the more we watch Percy play, the more we think that he's got a chance to be a star for the Giants. Here's a free agent safety that they're bringing along, and they bring him along, and pretty soon he's going to be a starter.
Rain has begun to pick up in its intensity here in Philadelphia, as it is up and down the East Coast. I mean, you can't find a dry place from Miami up to Presque Isle, Maine. 3rd down and 6.
Crossing routes.
Detmer again with time and throws a pass, and it's caught by Marseille, just his 15th reception of the year. And the former San Diego Charger moves him down to the Giant 23-yard line.
We're going to show you the end zone. If you're the quarterback, watch all the crossing routes. There go the backs. They crisscross first. Here come the wideouts. And he feels so secure and comfortable, the quarterback. Ty is not worried about any pressure coming. He's just standing there waiting for all that to happen.
Detmer looks great on 3rd down today. He looks perfect on 3rd down today.
I'd say he looks 5 for 5.
1st down and 10 for Ty Detmer. Swings it out in the flat where it's dropped by Ricky Waters. Right now for McDonald's Game Break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Kevin, Minnesota's Brad Johnson hot today. This is his 2nd touchdown, a 40-yard strike to Jake Reed. 20-3 Minnesota. Yes, indeed. Hey, Kevin, how is Jerry's shirt today?
Well, James, why would you even ask?
The best.
He's got his Donna Karen shirt on today, and he looks great.
How about, I saw James with his matching hanky and his tie today. James, you're looking good.
2nd down and 10, 24-0 Philadelphia. Midway through the 3rd quarter. Wow. Ricky Waters. He dives ahead for a couple yards inside the 20 before Jason Sehorn brings him down for New York.
Well, I gave you a wow because this is the best game Kevin Turner's had. If you're a fullback fan, if you want to watch the Sam Gashes of the world who plays for New England, here comes Kevin Turner. Look at whang. Comes right in and blocks outside in on Corey Whitmer.
Here's a guy who missed 14 games last year, Jerry, with the knee after he came over as a free agent from the New England Patriots.
Got a new contract, came over and blew up, but the coach said nobody worked harder to come back. As good an effort and work guy as Coach Rhodes had.
3rd down and 7 for Ty Detmer, who's got time. Now he's held, and now he's sacked, and they rule him down at the 27-yard line. He was looking for Freddie Solomon. Robert Harris came through and made the sack for the New York Giants. That's the 2nd today by the defense.
And again, the quarterback feels so comfortable. The backs were crisscrossing out, and he just took his time, and finally the rush got there. When the crossing routes take that much time, the pass rush has to get involved. Robert Harris working his way through there.
So the Eagle defense holds. The Giants have to punt. Philadelphia takes over at the Giant 41. Here is a 44-yard field goal by Gary Anderson. And that is no good, and he stops at 12 consecutive field goals. And he does not set a new record. He tied the old one. And it remains 24-0 Philadelphia. Stay at 8-7 Central on non-stop Fox. Giants from their own 35, 1st and 10. Brown right to work, and he throws, and he's right on the money. Chris Callaway with his first reception of the day. It's good for 16 yards.
And a play-action pass, first down, throwing what's called the corner route. Start one way and come back. Little motion got him inside so he could have all the field to break outside, and he left Bobby Taylor. But Taylor closes quick.
In Eagle territory, first down and 10 yards to go. Rodney Hampton slips as he tried to make a move. Mamula smothered him. That's no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Oh, you call it. He slipped and fell on that one. Nobody touched him. Lost his feet on it.
How about him rushing today?
He's got 20 yards. He's got 8 carries for 20 yards, and I thought it'd be a good day for him because he slides his feet. He doesn't pick his feet up too far. I thought he'd have a big day today.
Like Waters has had.
Waters doing that 3.4 per carry.
2nd down and 10. Brown avoids the rush by the injured William Fuller. Now he's on the run and seeking the sideline. Whacked as he goes to the sideline by Ray Farmer, who's had a marvelous game. That's a gain of 4, but a hard-earned 4 yards for quarterback Dave Brown.
Boy, you called it right. I don't think Farmer's played this good. We're thinking Kevin Turner on offense and Farmer on defense is having his best ball game.
Early in the game, Fuller was out with a hamstring, but he's back and chasing pretty well here.
And here's a rookie. He grew up, Kevin, in eyesight of Wake Forest, but he didn't want to stay home. He went over there to Duke to get that good education.
3rd down and 6. Giants trail 24-0. Dawsey is on the move, number 88. Brown, a lot of traffic, and he tried to get it out of there to running back Gary Downs, and he was smothered again. Brought down as Kevin Johnson was all over Dave Brown. And Brown is slow to get up.
And they're pressuring the quarterback for the first time. And you got to go back. The last 3 times these teams have played, the Eagles have had 22 sacks on the Giants. Can you imagine that in 3 games?
Mike Horan to punt late in the 3rd quarter inside his own 35, and deep back Mark Say for Philadelphia. 4:15 clock ticking down, and the rush was on, and the punt is away, and it's a pretty good looking one from the 16-yard line. It's Say who slips and then regains his footing and then maneuvers for a gain of 4 out to the 21. Scott Gallion makes the stop. It's a punt of 34 yards. All Philadelphia 24-0. Next week, completely different circumstances for Dan Reeves. He got the game ball after his team beat Dallas 20-6. He's earned the respect of his players, but Jerry, the question is, has he earned the respect of the people that have hired him?
Well, the problem in the National Football League with every coach is you're only as good as your last game. So that Dallas game is history, and the latest thing that's going on is this Eagles game.
Almost a one-handed grab on 1st and 10 by Irving Fryer. That brings up 2nd down and 10. If Reeves isn't back in 1997, it won't be, Jerry, because of his skill as a head coach. He's a great leader. He's done a pretty good job with the young team, but he has said before and says now that he is dissatisfied with the structure of the organization. In other words, does he have the kind of say that he thinks a head coach should have?
Well, the only thing I think is he knew the structure before he took the job. If he didn't like the structure before he took the job, he shouldn't have taken the job.
2nd down and 10. Charlie Gardner getting a lot of touches in this game, and he runs it up the middle for a gain of 2, which sets up 3rd down and 7. And kind of case in point when you talk about Reeves is the Christian Peter thing that was really done, at least initially it seemed, without his knowledge. Then he was told midway through the process.
Oh, they're warming up. We saw this fella come in and beat
Arizona.
Beat Arizona on a play-action pass. Looks like they're going to bring him in and give him a little playing time. Not a good day to come in for your second shot, but you get your snaps when you can get your snaps.
Third down and 8. Here comes the blitz from the Giants. Retreating is Detmer, who is whacked, but he gets the pass off. And Charlie Garner gets a great block and works it to the sideline and is very close to a Philadelphia first down.
Well, that was a screen with a fast back, and you could tell up here when he got that ball on the screen, he exploded. He exploded and got downfield. Now the backside guard, 73, Lester Holmes, will work his way out, and he picks off the down lineman that's chasing. That was Ray Agnew trying to get in on the tackle.
And they bring the chains across the field, and we'll get a more accurate measurement to see if indeed Charlie Garner got that first down. And he did by the half length of a football, and the drive continues for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's been that kind of day for Ray Rhodes. He was looking for a day of consistency, and that because of Ray Rhodes' great play from his defense and his offense may force the Giants to make a quarterback change.
Well, don't forget, you even said on that last sack that Brown got up real slow.
Looks like Dave Brown might be finished for the day. Ricky Waters in on first down and 10. Waters, and he spurts to the 39 with a gain of 8. Marcus Buckley makes the stop with a great block that opened the door by guard Lester Holmes.
And it's power football. It's bring the fullback, pull the backside guard. Look at the guard coming. Lester Holmes leading up through there.
A lot of the swagger that this Eagle team had when they were winning came from Ricky Waters. He is a pretty good emotional barometer about where this team is.
He does get in trouble when he feels something. He just blurts out and says it, and that can get you in trouble. He got in trouble complaining about play selection. The coach told him to quit coaching, go back to playing.
Second down and 2, and here he goes with the first down run as Ricky Waters weaves his way to the 47. And the Eagles just continue to roll right over the Giant defense.
Excellent cutback runner. He'll start. If you're playing defense, I got you sitting in your living room. Get up on the couch because you're the linebacker. Watch Ricky Waters start to the right, so you got to go over there, and he cuts it right back to the left. So you're Corey Whitmer. You're playing middle linebacker. You got to go where he starts, and he comes the other way.
Waters, who began as a wide receiver at Notre Dame, then went back to running back under Lou Holtz.
Well, let me say, that Lou Holtz, he's done a lot of good things, but making him play wide receiver wasn't one of them.
First down and 10. Late third quarter. Detmer again with all day to throw, and he looks downfield for his tight end, Jimmy Johnson. His first catch today, his 6th of the year, and he's down inside the 35-yard line with a pickup of 18 yards.
And it's all zone, which is not their strength. Watch how the receivers end up coming into this zone to the inside. Everybody dropping. There he sits right between the hashes. Looks easy, doesn't it?
Johnson becomes the 8th different receiver that Detmer has thrown to today. Well, the Eagles have had some close games over the last handful of weeks, but today they are distancing themselves from the Giants. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Ricky Waters again, and he gains 3. Michael Strahan makes the Giants stop.
Michael Strahan did a good job that time. He pushed the blockers back, and there was nowhere to run.
Is that tape, Jerry, that he has in his...
Looks like he's got some type of tape over the top of his pad.
Thus to keep the jersey on top of the pad.
Make it slide around maybe easy so they can't grab him. I don't know why he's got that on there. They used to spray the jerseys. That became illegal. You used to walk into the shower room. They put a bag over your head and spray you with a Teflon so they couldn't grab you.
19 plays to 11, 9 minutes to 5. Philadelphia has ruled the third quarter. And a pass, and it's caught for a first down as Irving Fryer picks up 11 yards. And just like that, the third quarter comes to a close with Philadelphia once again on the move.
And it's a sitting down in the zones. You'd think they'd come on and come with a dog. A dog would be man-to-man, maybe with a safety. They keep playing this zone, and they're getting eaten up pretty good with it.
Eagles lead at 24-0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
The group right there. They love their Giants, but they've been put to sleep, and they've been wet on.
Well, you can take that a couple different ways. Here's a first down and 10 yards to go from the 22-yard line. Ricky Watters cuts back and is inside the 20 to the 18, picking up 3 when it looked like a gain of about 3 inches.
Here he goes! Yeah, baby! Here he goes! Yeah! Super Bowl!
They look like they've had a little bit too much rain or something.
Well, I think they're still celebrating the Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful that they don't live at my house.
Yeah. One of many that feel that way. Second down, 7, 10th play of the drive, which carries over from the fourth quarter. Play action by Detmer, who throws, and he's got Irving Fryer, who tries to wiggle his way free, and he may have wiggled close to a first down. Philippi Sparks was there.
Well, again, they have not changed the secondary, and it's pretty much basic. You can see the corner. Look how far off he is in the backfield. So he's playing the deep third. And who has the flat? No one.
And he goes over 1,000 yards for the 4th time in his career.
You know what's interesting? If you're coaching the Eagles, you're going to play on Thursday. And Thursday's your next game, Kevin. I think if you move this ball a little bit more, you get your players out of this game and you start resting the Ricky Waterses, the Irving Fryers, and start resting anybody you can if you get another score because you're playing in 4 days.
You know, Jerry, along with the questions if this Eagle team was unraveling, were questions about Ray Rhodes. Was he pushing himself too hard? Was he emotionally set and mentally ready?
Well, I think what he had dire disappointment inside of his gut. When we sat and talked to him, I tell you, those losses at the last play of the game and losing 3 that you thought you had won, they cut your heart out of you.
You know, was he pushing himself too hard? He is a guy that will watch endless hours of tape, and there was some question if he wasn't overtaxing himself. It's 3rd and inches, and Detmer tried to wiggle his way in for the first down. Ray Rhodes is a fierce man, a tremendous competitor, but he has been known to come off long trips like last week at Arizona, come right to the office and watch tape all night long and greet his assistants when they come in at about 6 a.m.
And probably didn't greet him with a smile.
Probably not. Well, the Eagles came in as they get set to measure here. The Eagles came in with the longest losing streak under Ray Rhodes, 3 consecutive games.
And I talked to Ray Rhodes about, if you look at this, December 5th game at Indy, that's a Thursday ball game, and what he has to do now is not work his players this week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you got to go out in shorts and do point drills. You got to get yourself back physically. Coach him mentally, but not physically when you only got 4 days.
They do get the first down, 12th play of the drive, and here comes Ricky Watters again. And that herky-jerky motion takes him inside the 5, where it'll be 2nd down and about 3.
And Guy McIntyre is playing a lot of guard this week. He comes in for Panos, and Panos goes to the other side. Here's 62. That's Guy McIntyre. Played at Green Bay, played at the 49ers, still running the same plays.
Watters and Rhodes kind of bumped heads a little bit during this whole 3-game losing streak.
Well, I love the way Ricky runs the football, but I think Rhodes is right. You can't let him try to coach too.
From the 5, 2nd down and 4. Watters broke 1 tackle, then he didn't get much more after that. Keith Hamilton makes the tackle for New York. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.5.
And I thought Keith Hamilton was a big story last week against the Cowboys. I thought he was so physical that he dominated in there. And I know he's got to be disappointed with what happened today because I was sure proud of the way he played a week ago.
Hard thing about the Giants, you don't know which team is going to show up. Is it the team that was in Arizona or the team today or the team last week they saw when they beat Dallas?
You know, a lot of times the up and down roller coaster team comes from a lot of young players. And that's the way the Redskins were this year. No backs in the backfield at all now, Kevin. Nobody back there.
3rd and 3 from a 4. Detmer, they've blown the whistle and the play is dead. Robert Harris was zeroing in on Ty Detmer. Chad Bransky was there as well. With 11:54 left in this one.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 77 on the offense. 5-yard
Richard
penalty.
Cooper.
Repeat 3rd down.
Right tackle.
Who's been playing better since he's gotten healthy. He struggled early with injuries to his ankle and his knee, but big-time free agent and a very rich free agent from New Orleans.
Well, they tried him at the left tackle, too, Kevin. He's been moved around. They didn't like him at left tackle and think he's doing better at the right tackle.
Well, they had Steve Wallace in training camp at the left tackle, and he didn't work out. He was gone.
And he's back there starting for the 49ers.
3rd down and 8 from the 9. Great time for Detmer, looking for Turner, and he's picked off in the corner of the end zone by Jason Sehorn, who played that well.
And that was an ugly throw. Detmer's had a good day, but when you look at that pass, you can't throw it any worse than that.
Sehorn gets his 3rd interception of the year, his 2nd in as many games. They stop the Philadelphia Eagles. The quarterback is draft choice Danny Cannell, the rookie, 4th-round pick out of Florida State. In the first meeting, the Giants were beaten by Philadelphia 19-10. And you can see a lot of the similarities in terms of the numbers then and the numbers now. On the 20-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go for Danny Cannell, who has seen action in one previous game against Arizona. And he flings it out on the side, caught by Charles Way, who tumbles out of bounds at the 25, and he picks up 5 yards.
And another good hit by Farmer. Ray Farmer hit Charles Way as good as you can hit him. And interviewing this guy, he does not look like a linebacker. This is a 220-pound linebacker. 220 pounds in the National Football League is kind of small, but he's playing real big today.
Danny Cannell, a former baseball draft choice by the New York Yankees in '95, faces 2nd down and 4. And he throws wide and incomplete, looking for Howard Cross. For the first time today, a Giant quarterback is thrown to the big tight end. And Danny Cannell racking up those numbers after Dave Brown went out with a muscle tear.
Well, you were talking about Danny Cannell being drafted in baseball. We've been talking about Farmer all day, Ray Farmer. He was drafted twice in baseball. Once coming out of high school and once coming out of college. So he had a chance to be an outfielder.
His dad, Dan Sr., is one of the spring training physicians for the Yankees down in Florida. He's got a lot of ties to New York. 3rd down and 4. Cannell, great time, and he throws into a thicket of Philadelphia defenders, and it's incomplete. He was aiming for Lawrence Dawsey, 3 and out for the New York Giants, and they got a punt once again.
And this was the first 3-man rush for the Eagles. So with Cannell, they came in. They only have 1, 2, 3, and everybody else is going to fill up every zone on this young rookie. So there won't be much pass rush, but watch how every zone is pretty well eaten up. Little change up for the young man coming in his first series.
Mike Duran to punt. And another bad punt. Mark Say will field this on a hop, you think, at the 30-yard line. There he goes. Breaks a tackle at the 34, and he caroms out to the 40-yard line. That's a punt of 44 yards by Harlan, a 10-yard return. Philadelphia shutting out the Giants in the 4th quarter. This is doubleheader action has the Giants in Miami against the Dolphins or the Redskins and the Buccaneers, followed by the Cowboys and Cardinals or the Panthers and 49ers. And that Carolina-San Francisco game now takes on even greater proportion. San Francisco in first place, and the Panthers are looking to get up there as well, fighting for home field in the playoffs. That should be a good one next week. So tune in next week as the race to the playoffs heats up right here on Fox, home of Super Bowl 31. Kevin Harlan, Jerry Glanville in Philadelphia. 1st and 10 handoff goes to Ricky Waters. And it's Jesse Armstead with the tackle after a gain of a yard. Right now for McDonald's Game Break. Returning back to James Brown at Fox Television Center.
Hey, Kevin, Dorsey Levin's doing it on the ground. 4 carries for 65 yards. This a 10-yarder for the score. Green Bay on top as we throw it back to Kevin. Tell Jerry, Terry said that tie and shirt he picked up from Walmart in a gift pack.
We got to get a shot of that, right?
Oh, man.
We'll show Terry that
I got a Walmart tie.
You get high dollar items. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Detmer on a quick cross, and he's got his receiver, Chris T. Jones, who takes it into Giant territory, picks up a 1st down to the New York 47 on a gain of 11 yards.
And they haven't slowed down their attack. They run Ricky Waters, come back and throw that quick slant. So at 24-0, I thought maybe he'd spare his players, get them out of there, but they're all still in there except for Kevin Turner.
Ty Detmer, as good as he has thrown all season long today. And, of course, he took over early in the season from the injured Rodney Peete. And he came to Philadelphia because he was told he would be given a chance to play and eventually start. Well, he's playing, and he's starting. And that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, or his arm may have been hit as he was trying to follow through, and Jesse Armstead may have been doing the stopping. Green Bay on top of Chicago. That's an important game. Packers have a lot of home games coming up. And let's take a look at this tie.
This is the best Darren Connor. What's the name of these people that make these questions?
Donna Karen.
Yeah, I said the wrong name.
And it is, Terry. I see Donna Karen.
Label, Walmart.
Now all your other shopping is done at Walmart.
I got your gift there. Same thing I get you every year.
Yeah, that cotton candy's good. Second down and 10. Waters ahead for a couple. That'll set up third down and about 7.
Look at this guy. I could draw a circle around him. That's my hero.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Take a look at this guy.
Whoa! You stay away from my telescope.
Yeah, I'll stay away. Third down and 7 yards to go.
I kind of wish that the Eagles would get all the good players out of the ball game because, like I said earlier, they play on Thursday. But they're all in there.
Well, they have a quarterback, Mark Rippon, who has not taken a snap from a center all season long. They could get him some reps. Detmer throws. And the pass caught by Irving Fryer, who is then stung by Percy Ellsworth, the rookie, who you like a lot.
Every time we see Percy, if you're a Giant fan, this is a future star for the Giants. Every time we see him, he's a good hitter. He goes to the football, and he's a free agent. You know, George Young even likes that. Doesn't cost you a lot of money.
Fryer with 74 catches as of now, and that is a career high for Irving Fryer, who's caught passes from Dan Marino and Steve DeBerg and Rodney Peete, Steve Brogan. I mean, the names, 22 different quarterbacks he has caught passes from. The most this year from Ty Detmer, his favorite target, Irving Fryer.
And I asked Fryer, he came from Miami, I said, what about the ball from Marino, the high RPM hard ball, as compared to the ball that Ty Detmer throws you? And he says, on Marino's ball, you never worried about coming back hard to the ball, but with Ty's, when you're in your route, you come back to the football, because there's a lot of difference in velocity from Detmer's and Marino's ball.
But if he gets the ball there, and as Detmer will say in defense, if I'm good quarterbacking material, that should make up maybe for a lack of velocity on those passes.
I think what Detmer does, he puts the ball to the right receiver. I think his strength is like Joe Montana's. And as we told you, Ricky Waters calls this guy Joe Money. This is another Joe Money, he says.
Very few punts by Tom Hutton today, and a fair catch back by Arthur Marshall at the 10-yard line. 39-yard punt by Hutton. They have stayed around in Philly to watch the 3-game losing streak end. Eagle defense has come to play today from the 10-yard line. Danny Cannell with his second series. And replacing the ineffective Dave Brown, and Tyrone Wheatley is wrapped up by Kevin Johnson. You know, there is no Andy Harmon on this line, Jerry, and that has been one reason why the pass rush has been so poor, and the defensive backs have been getting nailed. But plays like this by Kevin Johnson can make you forget, at least temporarily, about Andy Harmon.
Well, I think, you know, the bottom line of pro football, when you lose a guy, you got to quit crying about him because nobody cares, and somebody else has got to pick it up. Maybe Kevin Johnson can help pick him up.
Second down 11 for Danny Cannell, the rookie from Florida State. Hit once, hit twice, gets away. He needs to get to the 20-yard line for the first down and gets to the 22.
He did a good job, Kevin, not throwing the ball because they had both outside receivers doubled. And he looked downfield, and even though he's a youngster, he knew better than to throw into the double coverage.
You liked him the last time we saw him in the Meadowlands against Arizona in replacement of Brown.
Well, remember the wind and the weather, and they had a tough time, everybody throwing the ball that day. In fact, I don't think Boomer threw for 100 yards, and since then, Boomer's taken off. Maybe Cannell will take off.
Last week, Philadelphia surrendered 477 yards to Arizona. Giants don't even have 100 yards today. And there is Howard Cross, and the first catch he's made today. 14-yard pickup for Howard Cross, just his 14th reception of the season.
And only the second pass thrown to him. He caught that one. They've gone to him twice.
Cross, it would seem, without the speed at the wide receivers, Cross would seem to me a very viable option for this offense.
Well, really, they lost the fast tight end in there, too. Aaron Pierce was the guy that had good speed at the tight end, and he blew a knee again in that Cardinal game.
Wheatley will stay back to block after the play fake. It's 1st and 10, and the pass is caught, but caught out of bounds by Callaway. Couldn't get his feet in bounds at the 48 of Philadelphia.
But a pretty good throw. A little bit wide, but it's a good ball in the bad weather. Not a bad throw. We could have got the other toe down.
Jerry, how do you read this Giant quarterback situation? You know, Brown is coming to criticism. A lot of people would like to see more at Cannell. What's your view?
Well, I think you got to be there and know the parts that are included with the quarterback. There's Brown, and you got to say, you know, does he have a great option running back that can get away on 3rd down? Does he have a tight end? Does he have speed on the outside? And if all the answers come up no, doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Cannell calls timeout. A disgusted Dan Reeves. Ty Detmer touchdown passes, 24-0 Philadelphia. There you see Willie Williams, who was the chief of police in Philadelphia. Now he is in Los Angeles. Dr. J is right there, and Jeffrey Lurie is right there. That's a pretty high-priced box to be in.
Well, they're making more money than you and me.
Well, at least more than you. Second down and 10. Danny Cannell just called the timeout. Here's his play after that. It's a low throw, but caught by Chris Callaway, who scoops it up close to a Giant 1st down at the 46-yard line.
It's a nice catch by Callaway. Here's a guy that physically is on. And I asked him about his blocking. I said, every time we do a game, Callaway, you block so good in your effort. And he says, you know, I played at Michigan for a guy that you better block or you didn't get to play, a guy named Bo Schembechler. Oh, a little bump there at the end. Rhett Hall got a little shoulder on him. Didn't hit him that hard. But I always like Callaway, and he's a possession-type receiver. He doesn't have the wheels to go deep, so he's got to be able to take a hit inside and go down and catch low balls.
Kind of a short, stocky guy.
I asked him if he was a weightlifter, because he looks like a weightlifter, like he's all pumped up and he blocks good. Nice guy to talk to us yesterday. He liked talking to me. He didn't like talking to you much.
Well, when you're paying him, I can see why. It is a 1st down for the New York Giants, who are getting shut out 24-0. Cannell. Red Hall fell. Now here comes Kevin Johnson. There goes the pass, whistling over the head of Tyrone Wheatley. Howard Cross was down there as well. He had a couple receivers in the vicinity.
And Brian Dawkins, a free safety for the Eagles, was fighting that so that catch wouldn't be complete. He was swinging everything he had. Here's a rookie that Ray Rhodes thinks is going to be an excellent player.
Number 61 on the offense. Personal foul. Number 94 on the defense. Penalties offset. Replay 1st down.
61 is Lance Smith. 94 is Kevin Johnson, the defensive lineman.
A personal foul could be called. A late hit on there. He threw it and then he pushed him. He didn't actually hit him, but once the ball comes out of his hands, you can't take 3 steps and do anything to him. But the free safety, again, the rookie Brian Dawkins was really working hard in the secondary, and a guy that Ray Rhodes is very, very high on, thinks he's going to be a tremendous football player for him.
You just saw Chad Bransky on the sideline. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Offsetting penalties from the 46-yard line. Cannell throws and right through the hands of tight end Howard Cross. And I guess that answers my question earlier on. Why don't they throw to him more?
Where is Aaron Pierce? That's the guy they throw to when they need a tight end.
Still injured and back home.
They think Aaron Pierce may be back next week. Right in the hands. Cross the strength, he's an excellent blocking tight end for the running game. Timeout for a garbage bag.
Yeah, bag flew out on the field. Part of some of the expensive rainwear they have here in Philadelphia.
Well, you've had your bag on now for about 3 hours.
We've needed it. It's rained the entire game.
You look good in a garbage bag. In fact, it's the best I've seen you look.
2nd down and 10. Wheatley back in the backfield. A very slow day for Hampton and for Wheatley. Play action. Fuller zeroing in on Canal. He just has to eat the ball. That's the 5th sack of a Giant quarterback today.
And why do they get a sack? Because the Eagles are playing that cover 2, which means both wide receivers have the corner and the safety on them. And the youngster can't put the ball to the outside receivers.
Eagles with the win today will stop their 3-game losing skid and will be in first place with Washington and with Dallas. 3rd and 14
Wow.
for Danny Canal, who moves up nicely, and the pass is incomplete. Brian Dawkins covering Lawrence Dawsey, and it looked as though, Jerry, it ricocheted off of somebody's helmet.
Well, 2 good plays there. First of all, William Fuller had excellent pressure. He beat Scott Gregg. Pressure on the quarterback, and then there's that rookie free safety we were talking about. Watch this pressure. So William Fuller having one of his best days. Oh, he got there a little early. I'd have to say Dawkins should have had a penalty on that one. The officials missed this one. Oh, he hit him in the back and swung at the ball.
And the ball may have ricocheted off his forearm, actually, that was in front of wide receiver Lawrence Dawsey. Nonetheless, the Giants have got a punt.
And Dawsey knew he should have had a penalty on that. Officials missed that one.
Mark Say from the 15-yard line, and he is tackled immediately downfield by Rodney Young. A return of a yard because of Young, and a 43-yard punt by Mike Moran. The Eagles are going to go to 8-5. Because they forced the Dallas Cowboys to turn the ball over 5 times. Today, the Giants have turned the ball over themselves 4 times. The Eagles have capitalized 10 points off those turnovers and lead 24-0. Charlie Garner with the big run, and he's off to the races. And Garner is outside the 44 and near the 45. A nice pickup with the great block from tight end Jimmy Johnson. Garner picks up 25. That is a season long.
And Ray Roach told me he was going to motion Waters out of the backfield and leave Garner back there by himself. So the motion's already gone. The back's out. And he runs to the way Waters has to make the block downfield. And that is speed. That's acceleration. You have to allow somebody that fast to touch the ball. Remember, he promised the player 10 touches. Got 4.
But he's also caught a couple. First down and 10. Waters again. Still in the game, and there he is by himself. Charlie Garner out of Tennessee, who takes it past the 45 and tackled by Ray Agnew. Ty Detmer's had a great day. There's a flag on the late flag thrown on the play. Ty Detmer's had a great day throwing. The 1 pick, but the 3 touchdowns. A great day for the Eagle defense with the 4 takeaways and the 5 sacks.
And here's a young rookie from Duke.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 22 on the defense. That's a disqualification foul. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Philippi Sparks has just been ejected. You like this Farmer?
He's got a sack, he's got an interception, forced 2 fumbles, and we saw him make some of his best tackles of the year. So he's growing up.
Will a game like this, Jerry, give the Eagles back that confidence, that swagger that they showed after they beat Dallas and went 7-2?
And not only that, I think the way Farmer played, it'll help heal that wound where is Romanowski. They missed Romanowski, who went to Denver, and maybe Farmer can come on and play something like a Romanowski, and that'll be a plus for him.
Waters the lone back, and he gets the call on first down and 10, and is stopped in his tracks and thrown for a yard loss. Michael Strahan with the tackle. Sparks leaves, ejected on that disqualification. But I mean, the Eagles were looking to get something back, some of their spirit, so to speak, and they may have achieved that against a Giants team which showed no punch today whatsoever.
I still think they're kind of foolish to be running a Ricky Waters now. Waters has got to be the guy that's got to carry this team on Thursday. I sure wouldn't be handing him the ball here with this lead this late in the ball game.
Well, you know, he hasn't had 100 yards for more than a month. Could they be trying to get him that? He's got 97 yards right now.
Well, that sure wouldn't bother me. I'd rather have him healthy. I wouldn't care what he had.
Well, he climbs over a defender and works his way to the 37-yard line. And that is a pickup of about 3. And he may be right at 100 yards right there. His first 100-yard game in a month. Well, a great job by our crew today. Today's game was produced by New York's Jeff Gowan and directed by Andy Kindle. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Our associate director, Ray Smaltz. Our broadcast coordinator, Bo Garrett. Our statistician, another great job today by Pat McGrath. And Jimmy Stamos was our spotter. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you to all of our cameramen who had to brave some horrible elements today to shoot this game and bring you the pictures in the warmth of your own home as Ricky Waters takes it for a gain of 4. And he's well over 100 yards right now.
And you know what's interesting in this game? This game has been pretty one-sided, but nobody has scored the second half. So if you're a Giant fan, one thing you've done is you kept everybody off the board the second half. And I know that's groping and that's looking for something. But if you're coaching the Giants or you're on the Giants team, you try to find something positive, and you go in and you say, well, we kept them off the board the second half, so you got something to be proud of.
It'll be 4th down and 3. Waters has his 100. Kevin Turner gets the call. He needs to get inside the 30, but he is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jesse Armstead again makes the stop.
And running, I don't think that's the back you want to run sideways either. Watching Kevin Turner, he's a straight ahead runner. If you run the sweep, you're not going to go too far.
Dan Reeves will send in Danny Cannell. 2:10 left in this one. The Giants will drop to 5-8 with the loss today. Well, coming up after football, it's the Skate International Series of Germany. Follow some of the world's finest skaters as they compete exclusively for Fox. Dorothy Hamill and Peter Crothers will bring you all the action following football on the Fox television network. Tyrone Wheatley rambles up the side and picks up 8 yards, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Miller Lite play of the game was this right here as Dave Brown had trouble holding onto the ball. The Eagles got the fumble and went in a couple offensive plays later for a touchdown.
And Ray Farmer pulling that ball out. Now he fumbles it, but Mamula gets on it. But Farmer, a big game, a youngster from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Wheatley with the fumble. Eagles get it back. That was back in the first half. 2nd down, 2 for New York. And the pass completed to Lawrence Dawsey at the Eagle 42-yard line. Upcoming will be just the 9th play in Philadelphia territory today for the New York Giants. That's all day. Incompleted pass to Charles Way. And let me take you back to that October 13th game when the Eagles beat the Giants 19-10. In that game, New York didn't run a play inside the Philadelphia 20-yard line. Today, they've run just 2 plays inside the Philadelphia 20.
I'd have to say that there's some domination going on with Philadelphia against New York.
2nd down and 10. Canal with time and the throw, and it's almost picked off by James Willis. We had that dramatic pickoff in Dallas a couple weeks ago that sealed a win for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And because of the score in the young quarterback, in the weather, the Eagles are not a cover 2 deep team. But they're rolling up on both wideouts, so the youngster really cannot put the ball to the outside. You'll see this corner has that wideout wide and both safeties. So you have 4 on 2, and the youngster doesn't have much choice. Look at it right there. It's really a 22-man, and they're doubling the wideouts on it.
3rd down and 10 for Danny Canal in place of the ineffective Dave Brown, and the throw is incomplete. Lawrence Dawsey was in his sights. The coverage by Don Griffin, who just about picked it off.
Well, if the ball would have been a good throw, Don Griffin probably had it. It was a down and away throw. We got an injured man down there. I think it's Scott Gregg. Right knee he's holding.
Eagles are setting to shut out New York. You got to go back to 1976. October 13th to find the last time the Eagles had shut out New York. There's Dan Reeves. We're talking a bit before about his status. Giants co-owner Bob Tisch was quoted this week in the paper saying, "We will not fire Dan Reeves in any way." Yet the actual decision will be made by co-owner Wellington Mara and general manager George Young. But even Mara has come out and said, yes, there is a chance he would stay after this season. Last week he did a masterful job getting that team ready, and Ray Rhodes has done a great job in getting his Eagle team ready today when it appeared as the season, or as this week was beginning, that they were beginning to unravel just a bit.
And you could tell that those last three were gnawing on all the Eagles, and especially their coach. Their coach couldn't have been any more depressed than what he was with what's been going on. There's the cover 2 again.
4th down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Canal with time and the throw, and it's almost picked off by Michael Zordich. The leading tackler's had kind of a quiet day, but it shows you that he has not been on a lot of plays because the Giants haven't moved it that far downfield to get him involved in those plays.
And I think Zordich has been quiet because Farmer has stepped his game up. Watch everybody drop off and the young quarterback just throw it right to an Eagle. They're actually dropping off like a 4 deep. Everybody's dropping, and you should never throw the ball. And here comes that Eagle. Zordich should have intercepted that one.
Eagles will run out the clock and go to an E. Coming up on the NASDAQ postgame report, the Fox Television Center in Hollywood will get you up to date on all the scores around the NFL. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ postgame report. The Eagles will have a share of first place in the NFC East with Dallas and with Washington. All three at 8-5. The Giants will drop to 5-8. And they now can only hope mathematically of still being involved. And you see who the Eagles have this Thursday at Indianapolis, then the Jets, and then back here to end the regular year against the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants will be at Miami next week, hoping to get some answers probably going into next year. 8 losses will be tough to get them in the playoffs, although mathematically they are still in the picture.
Well, I think with the kind of performance you had today, you're not talking about playoffs. You got to play a whole lot better. This is probably one of the worst showings I've seen by a Giant football team.
Marcus Buckley. And that's a dejected look on the face of Dan Reeves. And a poor day today for Dave Brown. He could not get on track. He was 3 of 11. The Giants had only 47 passing yards, the second lowest in the NFL this year. The lowest was by the Giants week 2 against Dallas, 42 yards. The Eagles may have gotten some of their swagger back this afternoon, some of their spirit, some of their confidence back. Ty Detmer throws for 3 touchdowns. And Ray Rhodes of the Eagles beat Dan Reeves and the New York Giants. We'll be back right after this. 24-0 the Philadelphia Eagles.